Welcome. I've decided to create an install video for those who are interested in using the Achaean curing system for Achaea Iron Realms Entertainment. It's a mud-based text game. Um, First, I'll show you the few ways that you can grab the system and download it. One, if you go to github.com/Kavora/core, it will bring you directly to this page here. You can come down and grab this Lua install package link, and you can open up your Mudlet profile and install it directly via the command line if you like to do that there. You can also come over to the latest, grab the latest directly from the M package, install it directly there. There's also a third way that you can install this, and I'm going to show you how to do that via the package manager in Mudlet. So let's go to Mudlet and let's do this as if you're a brand new player. So I'm going to create a new profile. I'm going to call this, let's do install tutorial. And it would be achaea.com, port 23. Then we will do add a password in. Okay, so and then we'll connect. Now, as you saw, right away, the M package Mudlet package manager repository was installed directly. And we're going to use this command here. So we're just going to do M package install, and we'll do Achaean system, just like that. And it's going to directly install the latest package that's on the Mudlet package repository. Okay. Now, as you can see, it's been installed successfully. Okay. If you check our scripts, you can see we've got it here. Okay. What I recommend doing is QQing and restarting Mudlet. So we're going to do that. We're going to reopen our install tutorial. Looks like you can't see that part, but you should be able to see this now. So as soon as you logged in, you should be able to see that this window here. So before we mess with any of the GUIs, you'll notice that there is an update available. As of right now, the M package version is 1.56, but the latest is 1.60. So just click to update now. Okay, and we will do a package update. Okay, this will bring in, this here means that these were new files that were not in the previous package, but they've been created and added to your system. So we'll go ahead and again restart Mudlet. Opening back our Mudlet back up. Okay, so the first things we'll do is we'll set up the GUI. Okay, up here in the top left hand corner you'll see some words. It says left adjustable container. You want to right click, lock style, and go to border. Okay, same up here, top adjustable container, lock style, border. And then for the score window you'll do lock style, full. And then you can just click and drag this up wherever you'd like it to be. Over here on the right hand side, same thing, right click, lock style border. Now down here at the bottom we have two GUIs that have kind of been created on top of each other, and I prefer to have my gauges on the bottom, so I'm just going to drag these up till I have them separated, and drag this guy down to a size that I like, probably about like there, and I'm going to right click here, gauges, and lock style border. And then I'm going to take this this one here, drag it down till it meets. Drag this guy down till it meets. Now, if you lose this little dash in here, it means you won't see any of the in the prompt or any of the afflictions that come in. So I'm going to do right click, border, and then right click in here, full. And I'm going to drag this down to about like that. I want these to be a little bit smaller. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, so I'm going to drag this down. Okay. Now once you have this set to how you like it, it will save in your settings, so you can every time you log in it'll be like that. So what I do is I click on the day box and I'll bring this over till the right hand side kind of pops up. I can see that line there. And then over here I'll bring this over until it's kind of pretty good on the eyeball there. Okay, so one thing that we need to do is in your settings, you'll want to make sure that your main display is probably about a 90 wrap there. And then your bottom border height will automatically get set when you relog in. But for now, you can probably set it at about 50. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So I'll do 55 just to bring it up a little bit higher. But when you reload, it'll automatically set itself. Okay, so the prompt shows up there. Okay, now I recommend before we restart is type configure in your settings, come up and click server, and then I want you to click your command separator and set your command separator. Okay, once you've done that, go ahead and QQ and restart Mudlet one more time. Okay, so now that we're in, we're going to do some configuration. So go back to configure and go to server, and we'll go ahead and click on ANSI and MXP. Make sure that your screen width set to 0. Notice that they're popping up in the command line when I click on it. Let's make sure our page length is set to 250. We can go in and let our click our toggles on for whatever we want here. Like so. Allow tells, any of these things that you want to set. Okay, Q alerts. Just go ahead and this is just a nice setup for your server configs. Like if all of these here. So instead of having to go through and manually type it all out, I've made you a nice menu to do it. So go to configure, we'll go to curing. We'll want to turn on our curing system, our afflictions, sipping, clotting. Set your sips here. Set all these if they haven't been set. Go ahead and click configure again. Let's go to client. Set your class. You can decide if you want your scroll bar on. Inventory, I'll turn that all on. Okay, enable your prompt and click which options you want on your prompt here. Do we want to see exits? You know, class balances, you know, whatever you feel like you want to see here. Okay, so here's a quick prompt. Go to configure again. Make sure you set up your arties if you have any artifacts For example, if you have Magi robes, the clotting, which is client side, will automatically clot for you. Okay, so as far as the curing is concerned, you'll notice that I didn't select tree, actually leave, or clotting, or defenses, because the system has client-side defense handling, clotting, and tree handling. However, if you do want to use the server-side clotting, just turn it on. If you want to use the server-side defenses, just toggle it on. If you want to use the server-side tree, just toggle it on. Toggle it on, okay? You don't have to use the client side. You just need to toggle them on if you want to rely on the server side for everything. Okay. Now the next part that I want to explain is this reset. Okay, so what you want to do is click this hard reset button and just wait. Okay, it's going to set up all of your defense priorities for you. It says it'll take about 56 seconds here. We have got 43 batches to send. This is going to set up your curative priority list. Okay, and once this is done, we will set up your curing sets. We'll just do 2. You shouldn't need more than that, but once you know how to create one, you can create multiple. Let's see. Looks like these haven't popped up yet. Probably because we haven't set up our defenses. Okay, so we'll click View Priorities, and you can see that we have our priority table set. And this is exactly how you want it. We have Impatience above Paralysis, which for the most part, that's kind of what you want. You can consider, even though this is slot 6, the system considers this as slot 1. And this would be slot 2. And these 2 empty slots here are for prio swaps. Okay, anything up here are just things you need to take care of immediately. And anything that's in slot 26 is just going to be ignored. So now what you do is go to Configure, and before we do anything else, you'll notice now that in your herbs section, you have all of your settings set for you. You can always raise or lower your herbs. And in fact, if you want to have more, if you want to get deeper, you can always say, okay, I want a tree for impatience first instead of second, or I want to herb for impatience. And you can set these based on higher or lower, depending on what you want to, how you want to try to cure it first. And you can do that for most of these. As you can see, shyness, you can try to tree, herb, or focus. Looks like I've got some extra things in here. I need to take a look at that. But the system does handle that for the most part. You can kind of decide how it's cured, not just at what time, what priority. And that's good. That's true for the smoke and the sips, all these settings. So go back to Configure, come up to Advanced, and click on this Curing Set List. And you'll notice that currently you have a basic. You should see default is your current. If you have any other of these showing, you can switch or clone or rename them. So what I want to do is you're going to click Curing Set New and just type Basic and click Enter. And then click on the Curing Set list again, and you'll see this. Now what you want to do is you want to click Clone and make sure that you click, before you switch to Basic, you want to hit Enter on this and make sure you clone all of your defaults into your Basic. Then you'll switch to Basic, and you can look at your curing prio list. and you'll see that you should have the same setup as your default. So the reason we do this is if anything for any reason gets screwed up, you can always switch back to your default and reclone your defaults into your basic and have a quick reset. Shouldn't really have to worry about that, but if it ever comes up, that's why it's there. So that will set up your curing list, and that should set up most of the system. What you want to look at now is your keep ups. So go to show keep ups and set up your keep ups. So I'm gonna do these ones here: death sight, mind's eye, third eye, night sight. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Insulation, speed, temperance, levitation, poison resist, insomnia, selfishness, rebounding. And then all of these here probably too. Okay, so now that I've set these up and we have our configuration file going, I'm going to just test here. Okay, so we're going to, one more thing before we start, we need to go to Mapper in our settings and download the map. Okay, that should pop up your mapper, and then I would do mconfig crowd map on. Okay, and just to be sure, type RL and then force map. That will download your latest, and then take a good look, and that should put you right where you're at. Now what I want to do now is log out, and I'm going to restart Mudlet one more time. Let's see. Let's actually, so for some reason it missed my, let me put it in here. Okay, now as you can see, everything should have loaded up for you. See, this is my little target window. Yours will be blank. You should have a desk site window that pops up and your data window if you decide that you want to have data, but yours will be blank. But your test site should pop up. You should have your main window and your day box. And your room window, I'll make sure your mind's eye is up. Oh, for some reason it didn't save my keep ups. Let's try this again. It's probably because it was the first time. It probably won't do that again. But let me just set these one more time. We'll test that. We'll reload and make sure that everything's saving. But it's the first time install, so I would just probably guess that it just didn't keep. Let's do this one. I think that's all I've got. So we now see we've got defenses, and you can see you've got your room window. So let's see. I'm in the holding room. Okay, so let's walk to Ashton because that's my city. Okay, let's head over there. But as you can see, your window here should show up, and everything should be good. So let's see who. So what you can do now is set up your NDB. So just to get that set up easy, just type QWP, and that'll bring up your NDB. Do see who, and you can see that you've got your NDB. Now these three individuals, they have their stuff hidden, so they don't show up very well. But you could always do set Kasim or Ashton to set his city. and then see who, and you'll see that it shows up. And then he's even more difficult. So set Kasim purple, then see who, and then oh, maybe it's highlight. No, it's set Kasim. I just set him to the city purple. Silly me. Okay, so highlight Kasim purple. And I spelled purple wrong. So now he's purple. And then we can do set Samirket Ashton. See who. Set Thieve Ashton. And so this should set your NDB up, and you can do everything there. And also you've got a nice Q whom. So if you do Q whom, there's also a nice clickable links. You can go to you know, wherever someone's at, you know, just click on the link. And there's lots of other things. So like if you type elist, it'll automatically refill your vials for you, top you off. There's a tats. I have a nice tats, and these are presets, hunting and combat. So just type hunting, or sorry, just click on the hunting, and then you would click here to apply. I guess I have all my tats, so it says everything's optimal. Let's see, in aliases, what else could I show you? There's sleep and meditate and HH. So yeah, so SL is your generosity. Configure, you can show that on your, oh, wrong one, let's go to curing. Nope, wrong one, go to client. And then in here you can say I want to show selfishness on the prompt. Where does it say? Where is that? There it is, right there. So it should show. Did I turn? Oh, I turned my prompt off. So you should see selfishness there. We'll turn on monoliths. You can turn on the class target if you want. Clickable exits if you want. Clickable exits. You can turn on your class resource such as karma. All these options you have to play with. If you want to see debugs, go ahead and do that. It's just going to spam the crap out of you, but it'll show you all the debugs if you start having problems in the game. Make sure you set your class. So just click the class button. It'll set it in there. And it's your enemy HP. So if you're out hunting, it'll show you the name and their enemies. I think that's most of everything that you need to know just to get started. You could type HH for swapping between health and mana. You can type MSS for turning on moss, on and off moss usage. Let's see what else is there. Those are pretty much the basics. Meditate, if you want to meditate, just meditate. I have it set to sit you down and close your eyes. You can toggle it back off. You can sleep. That'll put you to sleep. Yeah, I don't want to sleep for some reason. But that's pretty much everything you need to know to get this system set up. So I'm going to log out one more time. Oh, there is a def up menu too, so type show def ups if you want to set up your def ups. Just click anything you want, then type def up. And then there's also a relax, so you can def up all the mana usage ones, and then like for a raid, and then just type relax when you're done, and they'll put them down. So I'm going to reload one more time. And there we go. All the defenses are being put up for me. And that's a pipe bug, but that's been fixed in the next release. So I haven't released it yet, but that will be fixed in the next one. So Yeah, but that's all there is to it. And I hope you enjoy the system. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email or reach out to Kavora in game, and we can talk it over. Cheers.